Kentucky residents may be eligible to get a free Cologuard testing kit. Call today.
Hi, folks. Medicare Part C plans with extra benefits like getting money added back to your Social Security check may now be available to you in your zip code. Make sure you're not missing out. It's simple. 1, call the number on your screen. 2, they'll look up your zip code and see if you're eligible. 3, they'll check for plans with extra benefits like prescriptions, dental coverage, and the benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every single month. Call now.
I called to get everything I deserve.
I called to check my zip code for a plan with a benefit that adds money back to my Social Security check.
I called to check my zip code.
Millions of people have called the Medicare Coverage Helpline. Call, check your zip code, see if you're eligible, and get what you deserve. Call now.
Call 1-800-245-7306. That's 1-800-245-7306 now.
Start your day with Victor, Kristen, and Jim. Weekdays on WKYT Mornings. Every day Kentucky is all new and every morning on WKYT. Closed captioning on WKYT is brought to you by Cumberland Valley National Bank. Bank better.
Much better radar as we head into the weekend, but I'm still watching for the return of another flash flood threat.
Also on WKYT News at 4:30, we're live in the hardest hit areas as search and rescue efforts continue across eastern Kentucky. And schools in Wolfe County are taking action to help flooding victims in neighboring counties. How they're getting involved to support.
With First Alert Weather, this is WKYT News.
Good afternoon. I'm Bill Bryant. Heartbreak and devastation continues in eastern Kentucky. Unfortunately, they're not completely out of the woods yet. The death toll is up to at least 19 people killed. That number from Governor Beshear, and it does include at least 6 children. WKYT's Amber Philpott is live in Breathitt County, seeing the devastation and the rescues underway today. And Amber, I understand that one rescue is coming in right now.
Bill, I want to get to that right now. Good afternoon to you. They literally sent a boat out at 4 o'clock when we were coming on the air. A family had not heard from their loved one, and they wanted to be able to get out and go and check on that person. So they sent a boat out, and just now they are bringing someone in. They said their car had been at the house. It flooded, but then they had not been able to hear from their loved one. And you are witnessing right now some good Samaritans who went out in that boat and are getting this person back now to safety and presumably to their loved ones. I can only imagine what kind of last couple of nights it has been like to be stranded back there in a house that is flooded out, but that is happening right now. And of course, as you know, we have been talking about this is happening all across eastern Kentucky as we speak. We are now 24 hours, 48 hours into this flooding event, and scenes like this are still playing out. We have been in Jackson for most of the day, and we could hear and see the helicopters in the air, also out looking for folks. And then, as you know, you've got so many volunteers, first responders who are going out and doing what they can to help folks like this here in the Jackson area who have been stranded in their homes after these floodwaters got so very high. And by the way, this is an area that is no stranger to flooding. This happened here just last year, and many of these folks were dealing with that last year. But this is a little bit of good news. I'm sure they're going to get this person to their family and then probably get them checked out to make sure that they are doing okay. And that is what we like to see. Now, let's talk a little bit of weather with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. Chris, we are still talking about the threat for more rain, but the good news is we're going to see a break, it sounds like, in this area, at least for a day. And that's some good news for a lot of folks.
Yeah, it really is. And obviously great news seeing that playing out right behind you there, Amber, with that gentleman being led to safety and in good shape, thankfully there. We are dealing with that break in the rain that's going to take us through tonight and into much of Saturday. And we need it because we still have flooding that is ongoing across parts of eastern Kentucky. A lot of those same hit areas. You know this was a devastating and historic flood when you are now more than 48 hours later and we're still dealing with flood warnings from that event. And it's not just for the rivers. We still have a lot of creeks and streams that are out of their banks 48 hours later. Historic rains flooding along the Kentucky River, the North Fork of the Kentucky River, parts of the Red River as well, and toward the Licking River Basin. Eastern Kentucky, we picked up roughly 13 inches of rain. I'm going to show you that graphic coming up here in about 5 minutes or so, and I'll show you a year that it kind of struck me that it was similar to an event that happened 80-plus years ago. Eastern Kentucky, just isolated stuff that is left in the tank now, nothing really showing up over the devastated areas, and with a weak front on top of the region, I do think a scattered shower or thunderstorm is still possible into southeastern Kentucky, but this front is moving fairly quickly. So anything that does show up shouldn't just hang around for an extended period of time. That's going to press to the south with that better brand of air that comes into play for tomorrow. But then we do see this thunderstorm threat back into the picture with another renewed high water potential taking shape Sunday into Monday. And Amber, coming up here in a few minutes, we'll talk about that. And in about 5 minutes, I'm going to show you what this devastating flood reminded me of from more than 80 years ago into some of those same areas.
It is really unbelievable, but Chris, we appreciate it, and we'll see you back for that for sure here in just a little bit. Governor Andy Beshear gave an update on flooding just this afternoon, and we want to run down some of the facts that we know. We know that at least 19 people are confirmed dead. At least 6 of them, sadly, are children. We know the deaths are in Knott, Perry, Letcher, and Clay counties. The governor, though, continuing to say today that he expects that death toll to rise. A lot of homes are still flooded and roads are impassable or blocked off by mudslides. President Biden approved the state's federal disaster declaration request, which will now provide federal help for these flood victims. And we are getting a new bird's eye view of the devastation in Perry County. So take a look at this. Governor Beshear also flew over the area. He says the county has a lot of mudslides, making areas just hard to reach. You can see here in the Bulin area, northeast of Hazard, the water is up to the bridge there. Homes and businesses are still underwater. The community is just devastated. We know at least one person, an 81-year-old woman, has died in that area. Kentucky's Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman, she gave an update today talking to CNN. And as we all know, the Commonwealth has certainly been hit so very hard by disasters both last year and, of course, now into this year. And here is a part of what the Lieutenant Governor's message was to Kentuckians.
It's going to be a long road. As you can see from these pictures, this is not anything that's going to be an easy recovery. But I will tell you this, we have the most compassionate leaders. We have the most compassionate and hardworking people right here in Kentucky. And the only thing I've seen that rivals the devastation that you're seeing in these images is Team Kentucky's response. We are going to stand with these folks today, tomorrow, and in all the days to come as they rebuild their lives.
And that is so good to hear, because there are so many Kentuckians who are hurting right now. And like you heard from the Lieutenant Governor, there are so many compassionate Kentuckians that are willing to get out and just help their neighbor. And we are seeing a really good example of that happening right now in Wolfe County. The school district there, they have stepped up to help folks that have been evacuated from areas, say here in Breathitt County in the Jackson area. And our Chelsea Jones is following up what's happening there at the school system.
Well, the Wolfe County School District has stepped up to help people heavily impacted by these floods. Wolfe County High School, the middle school, and Campton Elementary are functioning as shelters. And while school staff would normally be enjoying the end of summer break, they're here providing assistance.
School board members are here, our school administrators are here, our janitors are here.
We spoke to people who have lost everything. They're still trying to process what happened.
We left and we went down to where my uncle lives. And by the time we got down there, it was in our house. By the time we left to come here last night, it was over our house.
Red Cross volunteers and school staff have been trying to provide as much comfort as they can, giving those who've been displaced clothes, meals, and other vital needs. Despite the devastation, there have been some smiles. People were happy to see professional wrestler, the American Giant. He also lost his home in the floods and is staying here at the shelter.
Honestly, I pray about it. day by day. All these things will pass away. It's going to come back to normal.
Now, the superintendent tells me it will take a collective effort to help these people get back on their feet. He's asking others to make donations if they can. In Wolfe County, Chelsea Jones, WKYT.
So much help is pouring into this region, and we have seen it in times like these before. The flooding has also impacted more than a dozen ARH hospitals. We're told that hospitals in Hazard, Whitesburg, and Floyd County are the ones that are the most impacted. Holly Phillips, the CEO of ARH, says that 2 clinics are completely underwater and other clinics have completely closed. Phillips says that they still have not been able, sadly, to get in contact with a number of their employees. She says that they have 40 employees that have lost everything in the flooding, and they have 22 employees that are still not accounted for.
The impact is so hard on us. At ARH, we are like a family. So when one of us hurts, we all hurt. And we all work as a family to lift each other up and to help one another, especially in times of need.
They have set up to collect donations at their Lexington office. It's on Executive Drive, and Phillips says that water is one of the biggest needs in the region. So if you can donate bottled water, that would be great. And if you are sitting at home and you are watching scenes like this play out and you want to do your part, we have done that for you. WKYT is partnering again with the Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky for Appalachia Rises. Right now on WKYT.com, we have links to 2 relief funds. Those are through the foundation and, of course, through Appalachian Regional Healthcare. And if you would like to donate cleaning supplies, non-perishable food items, or bottled water, they're being accepted, again, as we said, at their Lexington office. That is 2260 Executive Drive. And again, you can find all of that on our website, WKYT.com. So we just showed you that water rescue play out, and I want to let you know that the gentleman is sitting right over here to my right, and I got a little tip of the cap to let me know that he is doing okay. He looks like he's got his cell phone and some chargers with him, and looks like they're trying to maybe get him out of here and get him to his family or get him checked out. But at least I got the tip of the cap to know that he is doing well. For now, that is the story, Bill, here in Jackson in Breathitt County.
Well, it was just amazing to see that live on the air, that bit of good news in the middle of all this despair. Amber, thank you. We'll see you in just a few minutes. And as you may be weighing right now where to donate and how to assist in this situation, the Better Business Bureau is warning people about possible donation scams, and their advice is double check the organizations you're giving to and give to long-standing groups. The Attorney General has activated a price gouging hotline for you to report any suspicious businesses. This type of flood event, of course, is rare to say the least. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey did some research on that to find out the last time the state of Kentucky saw an event of this magnitude. And Chris, this took you back more than 8 decades to another very tough time in our history.
You know, I'm a student of Kentucky weather history, without question. It's called the Frozen Creek Flood. I'll show you that in a moment, but let me set the stage by looking at the rainfall totals around here since Monday across southeastern Kentucky. That's 12.7, 13.2, 13.5 near Hazard. Look how much real estate had, roughly 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 inches of rain. The majority of that happening Monday evening into Thursday morning. Now, that is the area that was hard hit this week. So from 1939, July 4th and 5th, 4th of July, 1939, we had a similar setup across parts of eastern Kentucky. Take a look at the front page from the Courier Journal from, I believe, just a few days after that on July 7th. This was showing and telling stories about the destruction into eastern Kentucky. 79 people lost their lives in this devastating flood from July 4th and 5th back in 1939. Among the victims, roughly 50 of those were children from a school that was swept away in the community of Frozen in Breathitt County. So that's why that flood became known as the Frozen Flood, because it devastated a community in Breathitt County called Frozen. Look at a rainfall map from that same time from 1939. Now, that is eastern Kentucky. It's a different legend. Obviously, that is way old school for that map. And you can see how this stretched from around Lewis County in northern Kentucky through Rowan County. I still believe this is also the flood of record for the city of of Moorhead from July 4th and 5th, 1939, and then it stretched all the way into Breathitt County, into Magoffin County, into Wolfe County, and then northern parts of Knott County. So this was centered just a little farther to the north, and it was more elongated than the current flash flood setup. But that, too, Bill, delivered roughly 12 inches of rain, devastating parts of eastern Kentucky. That occurring during the overnight as well, July 4th and 5th of 1939, and it claimed the lives of 79 Kentuckians, and many of those were children who were swept away from a school down there. I believe it was called the Kentucky Bible Institute at the time, back in 1939 in Breathitt County. Just devastating there, devastating now, too.
And again, coming at a time like this, with all we're living through, that was between the Great Depression and the World War II. All right, remember, you can download the WKYT First Alert Weather app, scan this QR code, or search for it in the app or Google Play stores. With the app, you get the latest weather alerts and radar. It works without Wi-Fi. And we're coming right back. The Mega Millions drawing is tonight, and we'll be back with more on that and much more coverage in a moment.
Cronin Hyundai has an epic summer hit for you. Trade in your old gas guzzler for a fuel-efficient new Hyundai today. Just scan the QR code on the screen to see the value of your trade instantly. Don't just dream it, drive it. Only at Cronin Hyundai.
I was a passenger in a rideshare vehicle, and boom, my driver ran a red light and hit a truck. My injuries were pretty bad, and I didn't know what to do. I knew I needed to call the Hammer.
I'm attorney Darryl Isaacs. At Isaacs & Isaacs, we have the people, the experience, and the resources to take on any kind of rideshare case. And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
The Hammer got me $75,000.
If you're injured in a rideshare wreck, one call, that's all.
Call 877-ALL-7s or WeWin.com.
Lexington Overstock Warehouse. Open this weekend only for our big summer clearance sale.
Do you suffer from knee pain? Ever been diagnosed with osteoarthritis? Or worried about the risks involved with knee surgery?
It hurt all the time, like the nerves were rubbing against each other.
I was at the point of either replace my knees because I'm tired of this pain.
Get the relief you need without surgery. We're Arthritis Knee Pain Centers, the premier leaders in non-surgical knee pain treatments. Instead of surgically replacing your knees, our state-of-the-art procedures replenish the depleted natural cushioning in your joints with an FDA-approved shock-absorbing gel, without surgery and without downtime.
After the first injection, I knew it was going to work.
We've successfully treated thousands of patients. Medicare and most private insurance cover this procedure.
Full motion, no pain, walking, everything just back normal like it used to be.
Now, with locations in Lexington, call 1-800-257-3608 for a free no-obligation knee pain assessment or go to arthritis-kneepain.com.
The great experiences you have in here and even out here all started here. Because the best customer experience always leaves a great impression. GMC, awarded #1 in sales satisfaction by J.D. Power. Step up to GMC with 0% financing on these GMC models.
Visit your Bluegrass GMC dealer today.
WKYT's Summer Grilling every Tuesday and Thursday right here on WKYT at 10:30.
Watch Kentucky Afield on Sunday, sponsored by Bud's Gun Shop and Range.
Cronin Hyundai has an epic summer hit for you. Shop our large selection of new Hyundais at CroninHyundai.com. With our fuel-efficient lineup, you could save over $100 per month in gas. Don't just dream it, drive it. Only at Cronin Hyundai.
It is a WKYT First Alert Weather Day. The at least short-term flash flood threat is diminishing. That is certainly welcome news. Unfortunately, it's the longer term into Sunday, Monday. We're going to see that returning. So we're just going to keep the First Alert Weather Day going to keep the awareness level up. that we may not be done fully with the flood threat just yet. Take a look at the warnings that are out across southeastern Kentucky, and obviously it's a number of counties. Some of those same areas that have been devastated, all the same areas that have been devastated are still under a warning. Not for fresh flooding issues. It's still for the residual flooding from the storms of, 48 hours ago almost now? Into eastern Kentucky, there is a front that is out there. It is dropping in from the northwest. It has drier and cooler air with it. It's lowering the humidity, and boy, do we need that. We need to get rid of the tropical air. We need to get rid of that stubborn boundary, and we're doing just that. Still, though, we're going to watch southeastern Kentucky for a couple of showers and thunderstorms that may move into some of these same hard-hit areas. Now, a little bit ago, we had some minor flooding issues into Knox County, into Bell County, and Harlan County. Now, those were areas that missed out on the extensive rains from a couple of nights ago, but we still had some minor issues earlier in the day. Thankfully, things have calmed down there. Now, there you go with the warning counties. Nothing showing up yet. Got a little shower thunderstorm not too far away from Ashland and between Winchester and Mount Sterling here along Interstate 64, Lexington Metro. I can't rule out an isolated shower this evening. Most of your evening, though, you're going to feel the humidity coming down if you're going to be out this evening. You're going to feel that breath of fresh air that is coming in. Thank you, high pressure, for at least giving us a day and a half of dry weather. And then back to the west of us. The front is already beginning to check up. That thing is going to head back to the north. It's going to be back in Kentucky Sunday, Monday. Hour by hour future radar. Still trying to spit out a shower thunderstorm into the far southeast through 11. 7 in the morning. This is going to show some light green. That's just a little cloud cover. That's not going to be precipitation. Now, tomorrow evening, there's a chance for a shower thunderstorm to get into the picture. But I think it's once we get into Sunday, we're going to see more rounds of showers and storms. That model, it's probably missing this stuff on Sunday. Sunday, Monday, early Tuesday, threat is there across the southern two-thirds of the state. We'll see if that can get north of 64, but at least the southern third going to be dealing with a flash flood threat yet again from Sunday into Monday, Tuesday. Here's a little different hour-by-hour forecast that shows the cooler and calmer weather into town tomorrow. We may briefly drop into the upper 50s in the morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds, upper 70s at lunchtime. By the time we get into the afternoon, low 80s, lower humidity, and a better sky. Then tomorrow evening, here comes the cloud cover. Sunday morning, showers, thunderstorms back into the picture, and that stuff just going to come at us in waves as we go through Sunday and into Monday. We just want to get that stuff to avoid the devastated areas of the southeast. Even in the Lexington Metro, Bill, where we've had, in some cases, 4 to 5 inches of rain since Monday, that's nothing like 14 inches of rain. We can absorb an inch or two of rain. Southeastern Kentucky cannot. So we'll take the rain off their hands, and especially in the northern and western parts of the region. They could still use some rain in the far west.
I think people are very well aware of that around here. They catch themselves complaining a little bit about the clouds and the rain, and they think, oh, but the people in eastern Kentucky.
You look at what's going on there, folks, you ain't got problems.
Exactly.
Okay? Yeah.
We're back with more news in just a moment.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on 98.1 The Bull.
Honda is the most fuel-efficient automaker in America. That means you get more miles per gallon with Honda. Save at the pump with up to 55 mpgs for Honda cars and SUVs. Search your local Honda dealer today.
One bite of Arby's Hush Puppy breaded fish strips, and you're transported to a classic southern fish fry. One bite of those fries, and ooh, you're back at Arby's. Arby's, we have the meat.
So why do people keep coming to Burke Furniture right here in Lexington? Because Burke has everything you'll need for your home. With a huge selection of bedrooms, dining rooms, recliners, even mattresses. And most items are in stock and ready to be delivered. Combine that with the best service around, and you've got every reason you need to shop Burke Furniture. Plus, right now, 0% financing is available. Are you still sitting there and not on your way here? Well, I guess you can come tomorrow. A beautiful home begins at Burke's.
We're a different kind of dentistry, one who believes in doing anything it takes to make dentistry work for your life. So we offer a complete exam and x-rays free to new patients without insurance every day. Plus, patients get 20% off their treatment plan. We're on your corner and in your corner every step of the way, because your anything is our everything. Aspen Dental, anything to make you smile. Book today at aspendental.com. Walk in or call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL.
Free is our favorite word, like free samples.
Yum! Joy. Thank you.
At Morgan & Morgan, our fee is free. You don't pay anything unless we win your case.
Free samples?
Injured? Call Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com.
New spicy batter dip fish, only at Captain D's. It's hot news. Our famous batter dip fish just got really hot with fiery spices in our legendary batter. Get ready for bold new flavors when the captain is coming. Captain D's.
Welcome to the place where stories are told,
Yeah, man.
legends are celebrated, and dreams are made. Kick off your boots and stay a while, because you don't want to miss out.
Yeah!
We are Circle Network. Country plays here.
Want a new Honda with 1.9% financing? Truckloads of Honda cars and SUVs are arriving daily. Pick the model, color, and equipment and get financing from 1.9% at your local Honda dealer today.
Welcome back to WKYT News. Lottery fever is taking over the U.S. Tonight, the nation's third largest lottery prize ever, at least $1.2 billion, is up for grabs in the multi-state Mega Millions drawing. Dina Demetrius reports from California.
Wish me luck. It's my birthday today.
People waited in long lines near Los Angeles for a chance at a dream come true.
This is special because it's just so much money. You said 3 quick picks?
This party store in Hawthorne, California sold tickets as fast as the machine could print them for tonight's Mega Millions drawing. As of this morning, the jackpot rose to $1.2 billion and climbing.
Rub the bird. You gotta rub it.
And everybody has their own ideas on how to spend the fortune if they win.
Buy a house in Hawaii.
I'm going to tithe it first to my church, and then I'm going to spread it throughout my family.
The jackpot has been growing since April 15th. That's 29 draws without a winner, but that could all change tonight. But the odds of winning are a staggering 302 million to 1.
That's all right. There's still a chance. And that's what I'm hoping for, just a chance. Even if not the whole thing, I'll share it with several people.
And if you happen to be a lucky winner,
protect that ticket. That's literally $1 billion on a piece of paper.
Winners can opt for 29 annual annuity payments or take a lump sum payout. And remember, Uncle Sam takes 24% right off the top.
So from $1.2 billion, you're only going to end up with a paltry $400 million if you take the lump sum.
For most, a paltry $400 million is definitely worth the $2 bet.
A lump sum. Yeah, pay me now.
Dina Demetrius, CBS News, Hawthorne, California.
And we hope you'll stay with us. We'll be back with more on WKYT News in just a moment. In just a few minutes, we're going to hear from the gentleman who was rescued live on air. We saw that just a few minutes ago on WKYT, and we'll be back with that and more in a moment.
It's time to get back out and see America again.
And there's no better way than in a hybrid electrified vehicle.
Like this electrified Corolla hybrid.
At 52 mpg, it's got a driving range over 590 miles.
Saving you $6,500 in fuel costs versus the average new vehicle.
Or you can get a new Corolla Cross, the first ever Corolla SUV.
Now, during Toyota's electrified summer, get 1.9 APR financing on a new 22 Corolla.
Toyota, let's go places.
Attention! It's the final days of Suss Furniture, Rugs, and Mattresses Factory Authorized Summer Clearance Sale, now in progress with savings of up to 60% off select items throughout the store. Your choice. Lazy Boy recliners only $4.99 plus up to 12 months interest-free financing. Top grain leather sofa $16.99. Stressless chairs on sale. Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic mattress all on sale. Queen set starting at $3.99. It's the final days of Suss Furniture, Rugs, and Mattresses Factory Authorized Summer Clearance Sale. Suss will not be undersold.
In April of 2014, I lost my brother Antonio Franklin Jr. to gun violence. No family, no mother, no father, no grandmother should ever have to bury a grandchild, a brother, a sister, a friend. It can happen anywhere at any time. And that's why we need you. We need you to help us fight against gun violence. Let's get better and do it together.
Start your week off in the right mindset with Aloha Mondays. Submit your inspirational quotes, and every Monday, one will be selected to appear on Everyday Kentucky. That lucky viewer also receives an exclusive Badass Coffee mug. Check out Aloha Mondays on Everyday Kentucky.
How do we just drive off into the sunset when the next thing is around the corner?
Roswell, New Mexico. New episode this Monday at 8, 7 Central.
Closed captioning on WKYT is brought to you by Cumberland Valley National Bank. Bank better.
Welcome back, and don't forget, for folks who are watching at home, this tragedy unfold in eastern Kentucky with the flooding and wanting to know how you can help. WKYT is partnering with the Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky for Appalachia Rises. And right now on WKYT.com, we have links to 2 relief funds. Those are through the foundation and the Appalachian Regional Health Care System as well. If you would like to donate cleaning supplies, non-perishable food items, or water, those are being accepted at their Lexington office, which is at 2260 Executive Drive. Again, all of this information for you is available on WKYT.com. Tickets are now on sale for the Lexington St. Jude Dream Home Giveaway. WKYT, a proud sponsor of that. The 2,600 square foot 3-bedroom home is in the Hamburg area, and the earlier you buy a ticket, the more prizes you could win. Buy now and you get a chance to win a $2,500 home decor package from Kentucky Branded. All proceeds will go directly to St. Jude and the good works they do. Scan the QR code on the screen to buy a ticket. You can also find a link for that information on WKYT.com. A reminder, you can get your latest news, weather, and sports an hour earlier tonight from WKYT News when you join us at 10 on the CW Lexington. Stay with us now. WKYT News at 5 is on the way.
And we kick things off with a little bit of good news. A cold front dropping across the region means we get it on a short-term drying trend.
And on WKYT News at 5, Governor Beshear tours the damage from the historic flooding in eastern Kentucky. We'll have the latest on the search and rescue efforts as the death toll rises. Heartbreak for families as they begin picking up the pieces.
I'm going to miss them. I'm praying for my whole family. That's all I can do.
And we're live in the hardest hit areas as the cleanup begins.
With First Alert Weather, this is WKYT News.
We have people still working so hard and that are so skilled to get people to safety.
Search and rescue efforts are underway in eastern Kentucky this evening, working to save more people from historic flooding. That as the death toll is continuing to rise. Good evening. I'm Bill Bryant, joined by Amber Philpott, leading our coverage tonight in Breathitt County. Amber, it's been an emotional time.
Good evening to you, Bill. It certainly has. There are so many people that are hurting right now. They have lost everything. They have lost dear loved ones. There are a lot of folks in eastern Kentucky who are really hurting. They're also watching the weather very closely. And I know that we're going to get a brief break from the rain, but I want to go back now to Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey, because, Chris, you are still watching, though, the threat for even more rain in this region, an area that really does not need to see another drop of rain.
Yeah, that's going to come, Amber, as you get into Sunday and Monday especially. And obviously that is just bad news. The only silver lining is the fact that we do get dry weather in tonight and tomorrow. And in the overall scheme of things, that is a very, very teeny silver lining. Warnings are out still for numerous counties across southeastern Kentucky. Those are not fresh. flash flood warnings. Those are flood warnings to allow those creeks and streams to still recede and get back within their banks. You still got flooding along the North Fork of the Kentucky River where Amber is, historic crest, highest reading we've ever had on the North Fork of the Kentucky River in Jackson last night and this morning, and those records go back 100+ years. Flood warnings continue as far east as the Big Sandy Valley. Let me throw the radar into the mix. We're still not 100% out of the woods across the southeast this evening. We're still going to blow up a scattered shower, thunderstorm, but this stuff is moving fairly quickly. That is some good news there. We want anything that is out there to zip in, zip on out of town. We don't want it to linger a little bit. Nothing showing up in the counties that are under warnings, though a little shower still going up, and that's right along our cold front, stretching from Ashland back through Moorhead, Mount Sterling into Winchester, Clark County. Most of that is to the southeast of Lexington, and that boundary is going to continue to slide on in, giving us the drier atmosphere and the lower humidity. We need to get rid of that tropical juice that has been partly responsible for all the heavy rain in recent days. Now the bad news. Front is already slowing down back to our west. Amber, this front is going to then make its way back to the north into Kentucky later this weekend. And in doing so, it'll bring another threat for heavy rain that we'll track for you coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris, we'll see you then. And I think that's why so many people right now where I am in Breathitt County in Jackson on this particular street, they are using this dry weather to try to get into their homes if they can do so and start to rip out some of the flooring and start to at least get out some of their belongings so that if they were to get more rain and those floodwaters were to rise again, they won't be in that same boat with all of their belongings in that water. So that's what you're seeing here. I'm right behind the high school, Breathitt County High School, and I've got a guy over here that's been pulling out stuff from his home all afternoon. And then, of course, the folks over here, they now have a growing pile that we have been watching here just probably in the last 2.5, 3 hours. Some really hard news today out of all of this flooding. Governor Beshear says that the death toll from this flooding will continue to rise. Right now, we know at least 19 people have died. The Knott County coroner confirming at least 14 people, including several children, have died in his county alone. It is just gut-wrenching. The governor today had a chance to fly over some of the hard-hit counties to see the destruction. Governor Beshear says it is nothing like he has seen before.
Perry County, a number of mudslides, roads that are impassable. And while we didn't get all the way into Hazard, a number of homes that are nearly totaled. Jackson, the area around it, and Breathitt County devastated. Much of the city itself underwater. Hundreds of homes, their ball fields, their parks, businesses, under more water than I think any of us have ever seen.
So if you were here with us during 4 and then, of course, during our 4:30, you were watching play out right in front of us one of the many rescues, water rescues that have happened really all across eastern Kentucky. So we saw a boat go out. There was a family that had not heard from their loved one. They knew his car was still there, but they knew the house was underwater, and they just wanted emergency personnel to really go check on him. So that gentleman we watched as he was brought back, he was doing okay. I got a tip of the cap from him, and then once we cleared, we went over to ask him if we could talk to him. We let him get into some air conditioning first, and it was Mr. Jeff Noble. And for a lot of folks in this community and across eastern Kentucky, they may remember him because he was a personality on WYMT, our sister station, many moons ago. So we talked to him to see how he was doing after being stranded in those floodwaters. Take a listen.
The police department had mentioned they were going to have something up here at Breathitt High School, and they did. And that's what kind of got things going. And pardon my voice, I've not had any coffee today.
How high is the water back there at your house?
It's pretty high. It's pretty high at this point because I live right on the river, and the river really got a couple of days ago. I know that we had some people come up over at Snowden Branch.
I don't know Mr. Noble. I know him now, but I can tell that I think he was quite the character, and he was on his way with family, and they were going to go find another place to stay tonight, but he was certainly glad to see those fellows roll up in that boat. And here's another thing. Folks are just now wading to their house, and they just now found a pair of their eyeglasses. So it is really incredible to see as people start to be able to find some of their belongings. You know, the major concern here in Breathitt County has been the dam at Pan Bowl Lake. Governor Beshear saying earlier today that there was a major fear that the flooding would breach that dam. That did not happen, thankfully, but the governor, though, is urging people to get to safety with the threat of more rain, of course, in the forecast. WKYT Samantha Valentino has been here in Breathitt County with me, and she joins me now live with more. Samantha?
Amber, many of the neighborhoods here in Jackson, like the one that you see behind me, are almost completely submerged in water. Rhonda Stewart has lived in an apartment above Dowdett Park for 10 years, and she tells me that today it's unrecognizable.
You have soccer field down here, kids everywhere down there. We have our field days down here. You'd have people in the pavilions for picnics and barbecues and birthday parties, music being played. Baseball field filled with our little leagues and schools.
Marla DeJarnette flew in from Tampa for her niece's wedding that was supposed to happen tomorrow in Hazard. She's staying with her sister, who also lives above the park.
Since I have gotten here, this flooding has just increased and gone on. We've got no water in the apartment. My poor niece has had to cancel her whole wedding. The venue's underwater. There was a sofa. We watched the sofa coming down, and it actually got stuck in the trees over here. We watched it get stuck. All kinds of debris flowing down, which is kind of scary because you wonder if someone's trailer home, their home, is it their belongings? I mean, I was just in tears this morning.
And I spoke with Chief of Police here in Jackson, Brian Haddix, earlier today. He tells me that they've had officers working around the clock to make sure that people here in Jackson are safe. And many of those people are still without water and power. So Haddix tells me that they're handing out cases of water to those who need it at the Jackson Police Department. Live in Jackson, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.
Samantha, thank you. You know, there is so much heartache really all across this region, all across eastern Kentucky. So many people are just dealing with so much with this flooding. And the news that we're getting today about the deaths is just really hard to take. A tremendous loss of life in Knott County. The coroner there telling us that at least 14 people were killed by flood waters. Governor Beshear says that number includes the lives of 4 young siblings. WKYT's Phil Pendleton talked to some people who tried to help a family whose home was washed away, and he has more.
This is the Montgomery community of Knott County. Here is where there were several tragedies. There was loss of life here, I am told. A woman who lives near here says she tried to throw a rope to help a family of 6 that had found refuge in a tree, but 4 children ultimately would be swept away. The bodies of 4 children were recovered after they were swept away by waters that jumped the troublesome creek. The death toll could rise even higher from what happened there.
Well, our neighbors, 6 of those people, but there's more than that.
Floodwaters were so strong that it ripped asphalt right off the top of the roadways and destroyed or heavily damaged some bridges, making travel treacherous.
I've lived here for 56 years, and this is the largest water I've ever seen in town or countywide.
He believes the process to get life back to normal will take months or even longer from the number of structures and homes destroyed.
The city limits, I would say a minimum of 200, possibly close to 4. That's a broad range, but it's probably 200 to 400 homes in the city limits.
While people continue to search for their loved ones and their belongings even, I am told there is some good news in the fact that a lot of public services have been restored. The city of Hindman has electricity restored to parts of town, and other services such as water and phone and other essential services, I am told, are still in the process of being turned back on. In Knott County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Phil, thank you. You know, your heart breaks for really so many counties in eastern Kentucky, but it really breaks for Knott County right now. Part of the Oneida community in Clay County remains blocked off by flooding and debris there. Crews are working to clear highways 11 and 66 to get to that area. Trees and slides are blocking the road. Crews need to clear the roads for those swift water crews to get into the area. We do have a crew heading back to Clay County right now to see the efforts to get to rescue people in that area who have been really just cut off because of this. Right now, Appalachian Regional Healthcare is collecting donations at its Lexington office on Executive Drive to help their employees and families that they serve. ARH tells us that 61 of their employees lost everything in the flood. And here's something else that's concerning, a concerning update. They say 30 employees are still missing and unaccounted for, and we know that is the case across many counties here. We know that they are hoping that many of those employees just simply can't get in contact with them, and hopefully they'll be able to do that as some of the communication starts to come back in this area. In Perry County, families there are still processing what has happened in their community. WKYT's Chad Hedrick is in Hazard for us, and Chad, you have been there, you have been listening to really just some of these gut-wrenching stories of both survival and loss. Chad?
It is absolutely gut-wrenching, Amber, to hear these stories. It has been a long couple of days here in Hazard as well. Many of these people that I've talked to, they say they've either lost their homes or their loved ones are stuck in their neighborhoods. Some of them, sadly, have lost loved ones, and many don't know where their loved ones are.
It just hurts to know that what our community is going through.
The last 2 days are hard for people in Perry County to process. Their community washed away in many places.
It's heartbreaking, honestly. There's nothing no one can do or say to prepare anyone for something like this. Not knowing how bad it's really going to get. It's just heartbreaking to see our community is so messed up right now.
Shanda Ambrose is at a loss for words. She has family stuck in their homes and has lost relatives in the flooding.
I'm going to miss them. I'm praying for my whole family. That's all I can do.
Water is going down, and the scars of the destruction are becoming more clear, but the emotional scars are much deeper.
It's hard to see everyone losing people that they truly love as a community, and us as a community can't do nothing about it.
This tragedy has taught Shanda a lesson about life, how precious it is, and tomorrow is never a given.
Never take life for granted. Always tell your loved ones you love them. Never go without telling them you love them. Try to talk to them daily.
And it's certainly going to be a long road to recovery here, but the people of Perry County are determined to do that. In the meantime, though, there are some shelters open and available for people right now. One of them is at West Perry Elementary. The other is at Gospel Light. We stopped by there earlier today, and we were told about 60 people stayed the night there last night. They say they will be open as long as they are needed. They are asking, though, for some donations, supplies, water, especially, and working to keep those people comfortable in the days ahead. And coming up tonight at 6, we will have a story of survival from one of the people that is staying there right now. In Hazard, Chad Hedrick, WKYT.
All right, Chad, we will see you then, and we look forward to hearing that story coming up a little bit later. You know, we have seen a lot of images that really are astonishing to see, and if you have scrolled through Facebook, you've probably seen some of them, but one of those images in a video really caught our attention last night, and so we worked really hard to try and track these folks down. I want you to take a look. This image has gained a lot of attention on social media. It's 17-year-old Chloe. She sat on her roof with her dog, Sandy, waiting to be rescued in Whitesburg. The water there nearly submerging the home. Her father took this picture as they waited for help. As Chloe sat there, her dog sat in a plastic container that she actually put the dog in so that they could float and get to a neighboring roof. After hours of waiting, both Chloe and Sandy were rescued, and they are now safe. And that is just really quite the sight to see. And again, that caught our attention, and we are so thankful that both Chloe Chloe and Sandy are safe. In Pike County, officials are responding to the fourth major flood event in the last 17 months. That's something to wrap your head around. The county's judge executive says it's taking a toll, certainly on the community. As of this morning, roughly 1,000 people were still without power, and a nursing home did not have access to water. Officials with the Mountain Water District estimate that it could be another week before they are able to get everyone's service restored.
The biggest challenge, in my opinion, is probably the geography, the amount of area that's been damaged, and it's going to take some time to get particularly the utilities back on and get the cleanup process well underway.
Well, donations of drinking water are already being collected, and as more resources become available from state and federal partners, they will begin distributing those to the public to aid in all of those cleanup efforts. So we know that many of you are sitting at home and you watch our coverage and you don't know what to do. Well, we wanted to try and help you out, so we have done that. WKYT is partnering again with the Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky for Appalachia Rises. Right now on WKYT.com, we have links to 2 relief funds. Those are through the Foundation and Appalachian Regional Healthcare. If you would like to donate cleaning supplies, non-perishable food items, or water, they're being accepted at their Lexington office at 2260 Executive Drive. Again, all of this information is right now for you on WKYT.com. And that is what we know about Kentucky, and what we certainly know about the folks of Eastern Kentucky is that they are a resilient people. Many times, many people have been through this before, and they pull together and they work to help their neighbor first. And we know that that is what Kentuckians do. You step up in every way possible when things like this happen. And so that's why we put that in place for you. And we see that happening all around us as people have come to homes today just to help people rip up flooring and pull out what they can from their homes. We're going to have a lot more coming your way from here in Breathitt County in Jackson, but also we've got crews spread out all across this region trying to cover this devastating flooding. But for now, Bill, that's the story here. Back to you.
All right. People leaning on each other. We'll be seeing in just a few minutes, Amber, with more coverage, and we hope you'll stay with us. We'll have weather for the weekend in just a moment.
Are you looking to sell your vehicle? Horsepower Motor Sales of Frankfort is now open, and we're ready to buy your car, truck, or SUV. The demand for used vehicles is on the rise, and you can get top dollar for your old car even if you don't buy from us. With over 100 years of combined experience in the automotive industry, we're excited to be serving the Frankfort area, and we're ready to make you an offer on your vehicle today. So bring your vehicle to Horsepower Motor Sales right off Versailles Road next to Tractor Supply, and let us put money in your pockets. You know us, you trust us, come see us.
Amish bedrooms, Amish dining, Amish home office, Amish entertainment. Oak Factory showroom is full of Amish furniture that you can take home today, plus 18 months free financing. Oak Factory's floor clearance sale in Brandon Crossing.
Finding less time to get your hot shower in? It might be time for a new water heater. Won't be long now before that ice water hits ya. Let the crew at Don Hauer switch the track with a brand new water heater.
For 45 years now, Ford F-Series has had the #1 position locked up. And during the summer sales event at your local Ford dealer, you can lock down a great deal thanks to this limited time offer. When you pre-order a 2023 F-150 at your local Ford store, you can lock in 2.9% financing for 60 months. So no matter what interest rates do, you're locked in. For the best deals on America's best-selling trucks, visit your local Ford store today, where there's always more in store.
WKYT First Alert Weather Day continues. We are tracking some just scattered showers and thunderstorms into eastern Kentucky. Thankfully, that's all we have right now. The short-term forecast is a lot better. We'll talk about Sunday, Monday in a moment. Let's look at the warnings that are still out far southeastern Kentucky. Same counties essentially as yesterday that have been dealing with the devastating flooding, still under warnings. I'll throw the radar into the mix. Still some scattered showers and storms that are going up. We'll keep an eye on those. They're just ahead of the front that is making its way through here. Cooler, drier air coming in behind this boundary, but across the far southeast, we're still game for a shower or thunderstorm that can put down some hit and run heavy rains. Notice I say hit and run heavy rains as opposed to something that just lingers for hours and hours. Cold front is right on top of 64. Now, from Ashland through Moorhead, Owingsville, Winchester, that's your boundary. It's got some gusty showers along with that. Richmond, Lexington, Georgetown, Frankfort. So far, we've missed out on a lot of that, and that drier air is coming in. It feels much more comfortable right now into the northern half of the state than the south. We need that drier, more comfortable air to really flex and take control. Front to the south of us, checking up across the lower Mississippi Valley. It's going to head back to the north as you go into Sunday, Monday, and early Tuesday. So we're going to put some rounds of thunderstorms back into the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And the greatest flood threat as you go into Sunday, Monday, and maybe Tuesday morning is over the same areas that have been devastated here this week. And that's going to extend from western Kentucky all the way into the mountains of eastern Kentucky. Drier conditions across the north, so that threat for flooding into northern Kentucky is way, way down. 7-day forecast with a temperature trend. Tomorrow is really, really good, Bill. Not bad at all. Lower humidity, mix of sun and clouds, and a mostly dry sky. We'll watch the flood threat back into the picture Sunday, Monday as our First Alert Weather Day continues.
All right, a break not long enough.
Short one.
Yep, all right. Thank you. We'll be back with more news in just a moment.
Hi, folks. Medicare Part C plans with extra benefits like getting money added back to your Social Security check may now be available to you in your zip code. Make sure you're not missing out. It's simple. 1, call the number on your screen. 2, they'll look up your zip code and see if you're eligible. 3, they'll check for plans with extra benefits like prescriptions, dental coverage, and the benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every single month. Call now.
I called to get everything I deserve.
I called to check my zip code for a plan with a benefit that adds money back to my Social Security check.
I called to check my zip code.
Millions of people have called the Medicare Coverage Helpline. Call, check your zip code, see if you're eligible, and get what you deserve. Call now.
Call 1-800-245-7306. That's 1-800-245-7306 now.
I had a stroke. A very surprising thing to me. When they brought me over here to ARH, I was past the point of where you can get the shot to kind of help it. I spent a few days in here, and then they put me into the rehab program. And I'll be honest with you, it's where we made a new family at.
I seen Tommy every day during his entire stay on the rehab unit.
The bond forms quickly when you're working with somebody individually that much time each day. You're going to be an impact in that person's life, and you always want to be a positive impact, and you always want to bring positivity.
Tommy feels like many patients who have suffered a stroke require a multidisciplinary approach in treatment of functional issues.
In the last year, Hazard has become primary stroke center certified, which indicates a degree of excellence in the care for stroke patients.
You don't realize how important it is to have a good foundation of people around you to reassure you and to help you.
Lexington Overstock Warehouse. Open this weekend only for our big summer clearance sale. Get incredible deals. Queen size plush mattress only $250. Hurry in this weekend before they're gone. Lexington Overstock Warehouse. Low overhead, really low prices.
Welcome to CBS Mornings.
CBS Mornings. Weekdays on CBS.
WKYT is standing with you for Appalachia Rises, helping neighbors devastated by flooding. Visit WKYT.com to learn how you can support local relief efforts. WKYT, when we stand together, Appalachia Rises. Closed captioning on WKYT is brought to you by Cumberland Valley National Bank. Bank better.
Welcome back. Quick reminder, WKYT is partnering with the Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky, Appalachia Rises. Right now on WKYT.com, we have links to 2 relief funds. Those are through the Foundation and Appalachian Regional Health Care as well. If you would like to donate cleaning supplies, non-perishable food items, or water, they are being accepted at their Lexington office, which is located at 2260 Executive Drive. More than 1,000 tickets have been sold for the Lexington St. Jude Dream Home Giveaway. WKYT is a proud sponsor of that as well. The 2,600 square foot 3-bedroom home is in the Hamburg area. And the earlier you buy a ticket, the more prizes you could win. If you buy now, you get a chance to win a $2,500 home decor package from Kentucky Branded. All the proceeds go directly to St. Jude in the fantastic work they do. Scan the QR code on the screen to buy a ticket. You can also find a link at WKYT.com. Stay with us for much more news coming up from the news leader, WKYT.